Hey Finxters, today we will be scraping the model of a shopping cart website. So this is the website right here in front of you that we will be scraping. Now the information that we will be scraping from this website is the name of each product, the price associated to that product, then the description of the product, and then finally we will also extract the review received by this product. So these are the four things that we will be extracting. So we will be using the requests library and the beautiful soup library to do this. And please pay special attention when we scrape this website because this is going to be the base of the next lectures, wherein we will be learning how we can store the extracted data in files and database. So without further delay, let us dive into the code and find out how we can scrape the necessary data. So our first and foremost task is to extract the necessary libraries. So let's go ahead and import requests library. And then let's go ahead and import the beautiful soup library. So from bs4 import beautiful soup. Okay, we have now extracted the necessary libraries. Now let's go ahead and define the user agent. So this right here is our user agent, which we will pass in our URL. Now it's time to go ahead and define the base URL. So what's the base URL? It's nothing but the address of our website. So let's go ahead and copy that. So this right here is the address of our website, which is the URL. Let's copy it and let's paste it here. Okay, we now have the URL as well. It is now time to send the GET request. So let's create a variable response and then let's send the GET request with the help of the requests library, requests.get. And within this, let's pass URL. And let's also define the user agent, or let's pass the user agent here with the help of the headers parameter. So headers equals headers. Okay. Now, before we do anything else, let's go ahead and check if we are getting a proper response or not. That is, if this code is sending the proper GET request and then we are getting a proper response from the server or not. So to do that, we will check the status code of the response. So response dot status underscore code. Now let's execute this piece of code. Okay, the response status code is 200, which means we are getting a proper response and we can proceed further. Now let's go ahead and let's create the beautiful soup object with the help of which we are going to grab the different elements in our web page. Let's name it soup. Now let's create the object soup equals beautiful soup. And within this, we are going to pass the content of the response. So response.content and then the html.parser object. Okay, we have now successfully created the beautiful soup object. It is now time to begin our scraping. And this is where the actual fun begins. Let's move on to our website. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's highlight this name. Let's right click on it and then let's click on inspect. Okay, so as you can see that this A tag right here, which has the class title, stores the name of the product. So we have to grab this A tag, which has the class title. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's create a variable title. And here we want to grab all those A tags which have the class title. So we are going to use soup dot find all A tags which have the class title. So what this find underscore all method does is it finds all those A tags which belong to this class title. Now please note, to specify a class, you have to use this keyword class underscore, which tells Python that you have to search for all those A tags in the page which have the class title. So this is the syntax. Now this object stores all the A tags, but what we want is the name. That is the name or the title. So what we are grabbing as of now is this entire tag, but we want to grab this name. So how do we do that? To do that, we can simply go ahead and use a list comprehension. So to do that, we can simply use this name.text for name in our soup object. So let's enclose this within a list. So this becomes a list comprehension. Now let me explain you what's happening here. We are grabbing the text from this soup object, that is all the A tags which have the class title, and then we are grabbing the text from those A tags and storing them in name. And finally, all those names which are present on the page are getting stored within this list, that is title. So this is how we are storing all the titles in the page within the list title. Similarly, we are going to grab all the prices of the products. So if we have a look at our website, let's select the price, let's right click on it, and then let's inspect. Okay. And now as you can see that this price is defined within the H4 tag. So all those H4 tags which have the class pull dash right space price. So these are a couple of classes to which the H4 tag belongs to. And whenever the H4 tag belongs to these classes, then it will contain the price of the product. So it's quite simple. Let's go ahead and grab the price. So let's say we name the variable or the list to be price, which will be storing all the prices present in the page. And now, just like before, as we did in the title, we are going to grab the value of the price. So let's say price equals price.text for price in soup dot find underscore all. And then we need to find all the H4 tags which belongs to a certain class. And what's that class? Let's go ahead and copy that class from the web page itself. So this was the class. Let's copy it and let's paste it here. Okay, so we are simply grabbing all those H4 tags. So we are simply grabbing all those H4 tags which belong to these classes, and then we are extracting the text from these H4 tags and storing them in our list price. Well, now we will be storing the description of each product, and the process is quite similar. So let's go ahead and track the element which is storing the description within it in our page. So let's go ahead and select a description, right click on it and click on inspect. Okay, so here we go. So this p tag stores the description. So this p tag belongs to the class description. So this is how we can grab it. We can grab all the p tags which belong to the class description and then pull the text contained within this paragraph. The process is quite similar to what we have been doing so far for title as well as price. So let's go ahead and implement this in our code. Okay, so we have description which stores the description of all the products in the page. And how are we doing it? We are doing it with the help of a list comprehension, such that we are first finding all those p tags with the help of the find underscore all method which belong to the class description. Once we have found out all those p tags that belong to this class description, we are extracting the text, that is the description itself, and then storing it in the variable desc. Therefore, every description in the page now gets stored within this list description. So I hope with the help of these three examples, you can now extract the title, price, and the description of each product. Now what we have to do is to go ahead and find out how we can extract the reviews. For example, the first product has a review of 3 stars. So what we will be storing is 3 within a variable review. But the question here is how? So let's select this, that is these 3 stars, right click on them and click on inspect. Okay, so now we can see that the rating here is stored in the form of images within span tags. Since this product has a rating of 3, so we have 3 span tags, each for a single star. So this makes it clear that we have 3 span tags for a rating of 3. So if we count the number of span tags which are present within this div tag, then we can easily find out the rating of the product. So let me repeat this once again. So this div tag belongs to the class ratings. So we will first grab this div tag and then move inside it and then find out number of span tags present within it, and that number will help us to find out the rating received by the product. So let's go ahead and implement this in our code. Now the process here is going to be a little different from what we have been doing so far, because now we have to count the number of span tags within a particular div tag. So let's say that we have a variable rating, and within this we will store the rating for each product one by one. Now let's use a for loop such that we will iterate through all the elements which are present within the div tag. So for rate in, then we will use our soup object, soup dot find underscore all, and then we will find all those div tags which belong to the class. Let's find the name of the class. I forgot the name. So the name was ratings. Okay. So we will find all those div tags which belong to the class ratings. Now within this, we will only take care of the span tags by keeping a count of number of span tags present in this div tag. For that, we are going to use a flag variable, flag equals 0. And now we will again use a for loop to find all the occurrences of the span tags within the div tag. So for that, for r in rate dot find underscore all, and what is the tag that we are going to search? It's span. So this helps us to find all the span tags present within a particular div tag that belongs to the class ratings. Okay. As soon as we find a span tag, we simply go ahead and increment the value of flag by 1. So this inner loop goes on until there are span tags present within a particular div tag. As soon as the script finds that there are no more span tags present within the div tag, it comes out of the inner loop, and then we can simply append the value of this flag variable to our list rating with the help of the append method. So let me explain what's happening here once again. We have couple of loops. This right here is the outer loop, while this right here is the inner loop. So what the outer loop does is it keeps a track of all the div tags in the page that belong to the class ratings. So if this is the page, then this right here is a div tag that belongs to the class ratings. Similarly, for the second product, this will also belong to another div tag which belongs to the class ratings. So see, this is the second product and it also belongs to the class ratings. So this is what the outer loop does. It keeps a track of all those div tags that belong to the class ratings. Now, within rating, we have to find all those span tags which are present within it. So 1 and 2 in case of the second product, while it would have been 1, 2, and 3 in the case of the first product since it has 3 stars. So that means it will have 3 span tags. So this is what is being taken care of by the inner loop. It takes care of all the span tags within a specific div tag, and whenever it finds a span tag present within the specific div tag, it goes ahead and increments the value of flag 1. So let's say we are in the first iteration. So this inner loop will go on for 3 iterations. That means there are 3 span tags, so it will iterate thrice. And in every iteration, we are incrementing the value of flag. So as long as the inner loop is executing for the first iteration of the outer loop, the value of flag becomes 1, 2, and then finally 3. Then we come out of the inner loop and then we append the value 3 to this list rating. Then we move on to the next iteration of the outer loop. That is, we will now take care of the second product, and immediately within this outer loop, the value of flag again becomes 0. This is because we have to keep a count of the span tags for the second product in a fresh way. So the count has to start from 0 once again. So that is what is being taken care of by the flag variable. So I hope this is clear. And that's it. We have successfully stored the rating for each product in our rating list. Well, all that remains to be done is to go ahead and print the output. So let's print the titles, then let's print the price, then let's print the descriptions, and finally let's print the ratings. Please note, in the next lecture, we are going to learn how we can store each value in a file. That file can be a simple file, or that can be a CSV file, or it can even be a database. So that's what we will be learning in the next lecture. But for now, let's simply print the scraped data in our output screen. Okay, so let's execute this piece of code. And there we go. Oops, we have not extracted the names. So let's find out what's the error. I think that the name of the class here is wrong. So let's go ahead and let's move on to our web page once again. So if this was the name, let's select it, right click on it and then inspect. See, the title is in small letter and I have used the capital letter there. So that's why the error here. So as you can see that this T should be in small letter and then this should work for us. Now let's execute this piece of code once again. Okay, now we have extracted all the names of the products. Then we have extracted their prices. Then we have extracted the description for each product. And then finally, we have extracted the ratings received by each product. Wonderful. So we have successfully extracted the necessary data. I hope you found this lecture to be useful. If you have any doubts, please drop in your queries and I'll try my best to answer all your queries. See you soon. Thank you.